Hi there. Today we are analyzing another interesting problem. The sum of three different natural numbers is 875. Find these numbers, knowing that two of them are obtained by strike-through, the third has one digit. What can we say right away? Well, we can immediately say that our original number, from which we will cross out the numbers, is a three-digit number, because if it is four-digit, then we will never get 875. That is, in any case, we are dealing with one three-digit number and two two-digit numbers that are different from each other. And all this is equal to 875. Well, let's habitually denote a three-digit number as an ABC with a dash and see what different numbers can be obtained by crossing out different digits. Well, what are the options? Let's immediately designate this as the first option. Well, obviously we can cross out the first digit in the first number and the second digit. Well, that is, it will turn out, BC crossed out the first digit plus AC crossed out the second digit 875. The second option, we can cross out the first digit first, and then the third digit. The initial number remains unchanged. Again, we cross out the first digit, again BC, and the third digit plus AB and also 875. Well, the third option, obviously, we will cross out the second digit and the third digit. The first one is unchanged again, we cross out the second digit, we get AC and the third digit, we get AB equal to 875. And by and large, that's it. It makes no sense to consider other options, because all these numbers can be swapped. Well, I mean two-digit, so I'll cross out the first digit first, and then the second, or first the second, and then the first. There will be no difference, the same option. And we can't cross out the same digit twice, because in the condition we were told that all the numbers must be different, and if I cross out the same digit, we will get two identical two-digit numbers at the output. Therefore, we have only three options to consider. Well, let's get started. Option number 1. ABC plus BC plus AC. Well, let's write everything in the usual form. 100A plus 10B plus C plus 10B plus C plus 10A plus C equals 875. Well, let's give similar terms. 110A plus 20B plus 3C equals 875. Well, since A, B and C are numbers, then, of course, at the end 110A will be 0, at the end 20B will also always be 0. Therefore, only the only components are responsible for the category of units, these are 3TS. In order for 3TS to be responsible at a time for this unit to completely remove it to 0, there is only one possible option for the number 3TS to end in 5. Well, since C is a digit, then we get the only option that 3C equals 15 or C equals 5. What happens if C is equal to 5? Then 3C will be equal to 15, we transfer to the other side, we get 110A plus 20B equals 860. Well, here let's estimate already from the aside, since 110A is clearly the largest component. Here. So let's figure it out. If we take A, equal to 6, we get 660, 860 minus 660 220, B cannot be equal to 200, because B is a digit. So, A is exactly equal to either 7 or more. But let's think, more can be equal. If A is equal to 8, then 110 and that's 880. This is already more than 860. Therefore, the only option is A equals 7. Well, let's see what happens. Then 110A will be equal to 770. 860 minus 770. How much is that? That's 90. And we get that 20B equals 90. Well, we get that if we divide everything by 20, B will no longer be a digit. Therefore, this option does not suit us. We are considering option number 2, all the same. 100A plus 10B plus C plus 10B plus C plus 10A plus B equals 875. Again, we give similar terms and what do we get? 110 a 10b 20b 21b plus 21b plus 2c equals 875. Well, here we see that 21b and 2c are responsible for the digits of units, so an estimate by units will obviously not work here, so let's estimate from the side of the larger component. Again from the side of a, let's see, if I multiply a by 8, it will already turn out a lot. So, it should definitely be less than 8. Well, let's try 7 if a equals 7. Well, just in case, let's assume that it can be less than 7 and equal to 6. If a equals 6, I get 660. 875 minus 660 is already 215. Well, 21b plus 2c 215 will definitely not give, because b is a maximum of 9, c is a maximum of 9. Therefore, the only option left is that a is equal to 7. Again, well, let's spin it further. If a is equal to 7, then 110 is 770. 875 minus 770 is 105. That makes 21b plus 2c equals 105. Well, let's figure it out. Naturally, here we will also estimate from the side of the larger component, since the estimate by units will also work worse here. Well, what can the maximum b equal to be? Well, the maximum b can be equal to only 5, because there are already a lot of 6's, right? 6's are 126, and 5's are just 105. That is, we get the option that b is equal to 5. But then 21b is 105 and we have 0c in this variant. And can b be less than 5? But let's think about it. If b is equal to 4, assume that b is equal to 4. Then it turns out that 21b is 84. 105 minus 84 is 21. 2ts cannot equal 21, because ts is a digit. Therefore, our only option is that b equals 5, c equals 0. And we get the first combination already. This is a equals 7, b equals 5, and c equals 0. Well, you can immediately check it here, just in case. What will we get? Our second method says that 875 will be obtained by crossing out the first digit first, and then the last. That is, 750 plus 50 plus 75 should eventually give 875. Well, we get that this is true. Therefore, this combination will already be part of our answer. Well, let's consider the third case. Case number 3. Accordingly, everything starts almost the same with us. 100 a plus 10b plus c plus 10 a plus c plus 10 a plus b equals 875. Well, again we give similar terms. What do we get? 120 a plus 10b plus b plus 11b plus 2c equals 875. In principle, the case is very similar to the previous one, so here we will also select based on the larger component, since, again, it will work worse here by units. Here, well, let's see what the maximum can be equal to a. Well, there clearly can't be an 8 anymore, because there will already be more than 875. So, we come to the fact that 120 and maybe, we come to the fact that it can be equal to 7. And then 120 and we will have what is equal to 840. 875 minus 840 is 35. That is, 11b plus 2c will be equal to 35. Well, let's check if it can be equal to 6. Well, obviously not, because 120a if we take a as a 6, then we get 720. 875 minus 720, we get 155. Well, 11b plus 2c will never give 155, because 11b is a maximum of 99, and 20 is a maximum of 18. Therefore, the only option is a equals 7. Well, let's see. 11b plus 2c equals 35. Here, too, we will begin to evaluate the larger component by 11b. Well, obviously, 11b is something exactly less than 4, because if b is equal to 4, 44 is already no longer suitable. If b is equal to 3, then 11b is 33. Then 2ts equals 2, and ts equals just 1s. Can b be less than 3? let's check it out. If b is equal to 2, then 11b is 22. 35 minus 22 is 13. 2ts cannot equal 13, because ts is a digit, and we get the second answer. The fact that a is equal to 7s, b is equal to 3, and c is equal to 1. Well, let's check it out. Our third option was that we first cross out the second digit, and then cross out the third digit. That is, we get 731 plus AC plus 71 and plus UB and plus 73 equals 875. Well, here you can also, in principle, either quickly calculate in your mind, or figure out that the last digit is the same. That's a 5 and a 70. Yes, that's right. And it turns out that this is also a variation of our answer. And then the answer to this problem is, yes. Let's take another look at the conditions. Find these numbers. Well, actually, we found these numbers. The first combination of numbers is 750, 50, and 75. Well, the second combination of numbers is 731, 71, and 73.